Assalamu alaikum, I'm Alyssa Monet and welcome to my August Mind. So today I'm going to be participating in the mid-year book Freakout tag. Before I continue, I just want to ask that you disregard any extra noise or sound you hear. I live in Brooklyn and there's no good time to film. Without further ado, let's just get started. Okay, so the first question is the best book of 2024. Honestly, I'm not sure that I have a best book of 2024 so far. I liked a lot of the books I read, but I can't pick a favorite. One thing I will say is I really enjoyed reading Martin Luther King Jr.'s letter from Birmingham jail. I read it in college. It's something that I'm familiar with, but rereading it again, especially in this current political climate, it was just like eye-opening, and I saw so much that I didn't see the first time. I think I took it a bit more seriously now that I was reading it for myself instead of reading it for school. And yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by a lot of things in this letter. I highly recommend everybody read it. Number 2 is the best sequel of the year. By far has to be Destroy the Day by Bridget Kemmerer. It is the third book in the Defy the Night series, and I finished this in a day. Can't lie. Maybe a day and a half. It's over 500 pages, about 540 pages. I loved the first book. I absolutely loved Defy the Night. I got Defend the Dawn maybe last week, and I read through that book so fast. I was hooked. Defend the Dawn was really good. Like, I enjoyed it, definitely. Like I said, I finished it in a couple days, but it was one of those, like, you could tell it was the second book in the trilogy, whereas it gave me everything I needed, like everything I needed down to the last page. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna read after this. So best sequel is definitely Destroy the Day. Number 3 is new release I haven't read, but I want to. It's got to be Heaven and Earth Grocery Store. I'm forgetting the author right now, but I've seen it everywhere, and it just is. It's calling out to me, and I'm hearing that it's really great. All good things. Heaven and Earth Grocery Store has got to be. I want to read that soon. Number 4 is my most anticipated release. Honestly, I don't have one. I really don't keep up with like new releases. I feel like it's just a lot of consumer culture, and there's so many books out there. I'm really not chasing after the newest release. But I will say something I'm excited to see is probably the new Hunger Games book about Haymitch's stories. I just heard that's gonna come out, so I may or may not read it. I haven't read, what's this last one that just came out? A Song of Sorrows and whatever. I don't know. All these books sound the same. That one that just Songbirds and Snakes. That one I haven't read it. I watched the movies. Yeah, I may read Haymitch's story. We'll see. The next question is my biggest disappointment. By far, it's the Atlas Paradox. Not hating on Olivia Blake. I loved the Atlas 6, but I don't know what it was. I just was bored. Yeah, I was really just bored. It felt like there was so much happening and nothing happening at the same time. I don't know if anybody else felt that way, but I was so excited to get it. I do not like hardcovers. Ran out and got the hardcover, and I was just like upset that I spent this much money on this book and I didn't enjoy it at all. The only thing that's stopping me from putting it in a book box is that my sibling may possibly want to read it, and that's really it. It was really my biggest disappointment. It wasn't horrible. I just, like, after the first one, I was so excited to read this one, and I was like, nah, let me down. I'm not reading the next one, to be fair. Yeah, lost me. Next question is the biggest surprise. Definitely Say Her Name by Kimberly Crenshaw. This one also has a foreword by Janelle Monáe, also written by the African American Policy Forum. This has got to be the biggest surprise. It's called Say Her Name, Black Women's Stories of Police Violence and Public Silence. And so I expected it to be heavy. I expected it to be, I don't know. I like Kimberly Crenshaw. I like her work and her thoughts. And I was just really intrigued by what was going to be in here. It's everything that I've been thinking, but haven't had the words to say, and so much more. Highly, highly, highly recommend. Can't recommend this book anymore. Next one is new favorite author. Uh, New, I don't know, but my favorite author right now is Zora Neale Hurston. I don't know if anyone's gonna come in and take her spot. She's got it in the bag for me. I love her writing style. I've been loving all the books that I've read by her so far. Yeah, she's got the #1 spot. I don't think anybody's really gonna change that for me. Next is my newest fictional crush. Going back to the Defy the Night series, definitely Korik. Definitely Korik. I don't know. I always love like a edgy boy, so Korik is giving. Korik is giving, especially by the last book. I'm like, oh, I love him so much. My heart softens so much for him. So definitely Korik is my new favorite crush. Next is my newest favorite character. I am not sure that I have one. I don't think I have one, guys. Sorry. A book that made me cry. Say Her Name. Say Her Name. I really am not brought to tears by much. Actually, that's a lie. Not by books. Books really don't make me cry like that. I don't want to really cry when I'm reading a book, but this it's so tragic. It's just tragic, and it's really upsetting to read these stories, to understand the silence around these stories, relating so much to these women. I had a moment the other day where I was sitting in the park reading our chapter for the week, and I just started I started bawling my eyes out, guys. I had to go home. I had to go home. It was really bad. So definitely this story, definitely this book collection of stories. Say Her Name by Kimberly Crenshaw is a must read. The next one is a book that made me happy. I also don't know. Made me happy. I don't think I can say that a book has made me happy recently that I can remember. So I'm gonna leave it at none right now. Maybe y'all can recommend me something that'll take that spot. Favorite book to movie adaptation I've seen so far? By far, Dune. By far, Dune. I'm kind of upset because I'm pretty sure that Timothy Chalamet is a Zionist, so that kind of sucks. But I loved these recent movies. I think they did a really, really good job. When I went to see the first one, was it last year or 2 years ago? Just like the sound direction, the composition was so good. Just everything about it, they did it so well. And when it was coming to the end of the part one, I knew it was gonna come to the end because I'd been watching the movie for so long. Like I'm like we've been in this theater for a long time, but I they did it justice. I think they really did it justice. So best book to movie adaptation's got to be Dune that I've seen so far. Next is the most beautiful book I bought this year, and it's got to be Daughter of the Moon Goddess. Like stunning. Stunning, yeah. This cover is gorgeous. I would love to read the second one. What is it? Heart of the Sun Warrior or something? Anyways, both of the covers stunning. US edition. The UK edition is also just as beautiful. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. I don't know who did this cover art. Cover design by Jean Reyna. Cover illustration by Curry Huang. Incredible, 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 incredible. Super love it. I can't lie, but the one I selected for this prompt is Imago by Octavia Butler. My mom got me this one maybe 2 years ago, along with a couple of other stories. And I found out when I started reading it that this was the third in the series. Well, I didn't start reading it, but I found out when I was looking into it that this is the third in the series. And so I was like, dang, I went back and picked up the first two and I read through them. But Octavia Butler's books are really dense. At least this series, the Xenos Genesis series, is really dense. And so it took me a while to get through the second one specifically. But I just feel like I've spent so long on this series. I want to finish it. I just want to finish it. So I think I'm going to try to get this done by the end of the year. And then I can say I've read a whole series of hers. Octavia Butler, also one of my favorite authors. All right, I think that's it for the mid-year book Freakout tag of 2024. If you want to hear more about sci-fi, fantasy, blacklit, Afrofuturist work, follow me.